Some doors you don't walk through with your feet, you walk through them with your soul. And once you do, you never really come back the same. Have you ever stepped into another world? Not in a dream, not through a screen, but in your imagination. I want to take you back to when I was only 7 years old. To get to my family's home, you had to go down a long, bumpy track that wound through a thick, ancient forest. The kind of place that whispered stories, even in the silence. The tall trees pressed in from both sides, shadowing the road in a perpetual twilight. A place that didn't just surround you, it absorbed you. My brother and I would play there for hours. The forest was magic, and the further you pressed inwards through the trees, the stranger it felt. The more our normal sense of time and space got distorted. At the heart of the woods were the ruins of an old estate, abandoned and overgrown, crumbling stone walls, broken staircases, mysterious outhouses. But to me, it certainly wasn't abandoned. I could hear the horses' hooves on the cobblestones. I could see the lords and ladies coming and going in their carriages. I could smell the roses in the gardens and the fresh bread baking in the ovens of the old kitchen house. And off at the edge of it all, I'd often find myself standing at the top of a strange flight of stone steps which led down into the ground. At the bottom, a dark doorway, heavy, silent, unopened. I used to stand at the top and just stare. This place had a presence, earthy, ancient, sinister. There was something behind the door, I was sure of it, something that called to me and dared me. I was transfixed, but it was as though there was a strange force field which stopped me from stepping down below the ground to try the door. But I was determined to find out what was behind it. And eventually, I did. Carl Sagan once said, "Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere." And I believe that, because imagination, real imagination, is more than escape. It's creation, it's rebellion, it's survival. We travel to worlds that never were and come back lit up, the bearers of fire. Without imagination, we stay stuck in what is, unable to reach for what could be, and just as likely to slide into a dark hole where inspiration and vision desert us altogether. My teenage years were, let's say, complicated. Did you also feel like a complete alien at school sometimes? Like you were dropped onto the wrong planet with the wrong clothes and a badly written script? Sometimes it felt like the education system was doing its level best to extinguish my imagination. But a magic spark always managed to get the wildfires burning again. And that magic spark, my friends, was music. Just think how music embraces our emotions, how it lifts us out of the darkness, and how it gives us wings. When I was 14, I told the world I was going to be a rock star. My teachers didn't agree. My friends didn't agree. And when I practiced my cheap electric guitar at home every evening, our cat did not agree. But I kept imagining, and I kept practicing, and I kept imagining, and I kept practicing. And 10 years later, I'd signed a record deal, released 2 albums, and toured Europe and the USA. I wasn't exactly a superstar, but I was free. And I did get to prove my teachers wrong, and that felt good. Then I did something totally unexpected. I decided to jettison the rock and roll lifestyle and announced to the world that I was going to become an opera singer. Yeah, really. One night, 10 years later, I'm standing backstage in full costume. White and gold matador outfit, nerves buzzing, waiting for my cue. To calm myself, I close my eyes. and suddenly I'm transported to 19th century Spain. I feel the heat of the afternoon sun on my face. I look across the bull ring and I see a furious bull stamping up a cloud of dust. The ground shifts beneath my feet and I think, this could be the day that I die. I hear the crowd roar, take a breath, open my eyes, and step through the doorway.
Toreador en garde, toreador, toreador. Et songe bien, oui, songe en combattant, que nul noir te regarde, et que l'amour t'attend, toreador, l'amour t'attend.
And for the next 2.5 hours, the audience and me are carried to another world. We are traveling together. We are imagining together. We are engaged in a ritual act of shared imagination. So maybe now you're wondering, what happened to that little boy standing at the top of the steps, staring down into the dark? Well, when I was 8 years old, we moved away to a different part of the country. And before we left, I never opened that heavy dark door. Not with my hands. But in my imagination, I walked through it again and again and again. And what I found on the other side? Wonder, courage, creation, the raw material of becoming that carried me through good times and bad times all the way to the present. So let me ask you again. Have you stepped into another world lately? Have you opened a door no one else can see? The truth is, you don't have to be a child to imagine. You just have to remember. Remember that this world isn't finished yet, that it can still be shaped by dreamers, that behind every challenge, every burnout, every tired morning, there might just be a doorway. And beyond it lies everything you've been searching for.